It's the Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
It is April 3rd, 2025.
Yes, sir.
90.7 FM. Thanks everybody for listening. How's everything going, Sean?
Everything's going wonderful. Can't complain. We in the rainy season, so I know a lot of these Phoenix drivers are a little sketchy out here in the rain. So everybody just be careful. Be careful.
Right. Yep, that's true. And we got a lot to talk about this week as the Final Four is set. As you have Duke versus Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, Duke is playing Houston, and then Auburn is playing Florida.
Yeah.
All four number one seeds, the top four.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is only the second time since the NCAA tournament ever. This is the second time it's ever happened. Now, Florida is a 2.5 point favorite. Duke is a 5.5 point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is going to go all the way, as they say, chalk, as the favorites go on to the championship?
Well, hard to bet against Duke. And Cooper Flag, I was watching him play the game. I forget the team he was playing, but it's the game he scored 30 points, had like 7 assists and 7 rebounds. I mean, this guy is like, he's amazing. He's an amazing player, and so it's hard to bet against them. Even though I do like Houston, I wouldn't mind seeing them win, but I can't put them over Duke. And as far as Florida and Auburn, Florida's ACC, right?
Yeah.
They're ACC.
No, Florida is SEC.
That's SEC? Oh, okay.
Florida State is ACC.
Yeah. So these two teams have played each other before.
Yeah, Florida has beaten Auburn early this season.
Okay, they only played once. They didn't play twice.
Yeah,
okay.
They played once.
So they know one another. They know one another. So when it comes to conference teams playing each other in a tournament, especially if you play each other twice, that's always a sticky thing. And you said Florida is favorite. The
2.5 point favorite
to win that game. That's a close game right there. So I will go with Auburn because Auburn's pretty hot right now. So I'll pick Auburn and Duke. I could very much be wrong about this, but Auburn and Duke in the championship, and I have Duke winning it.
I also have Duke winning, but I think it's going to be Duke versus
Florida.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it's hard to pick those conference matchups because they know each other very well.
Yeah.
So,
the thing is, the only thing is I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to the Florida Auburn is Joni Broom, who is their top player.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 18 points. His last game, he was injured with the elbow injury, but he's gonna play.
Oh, okay.
But the last game, I mean, he balled out against Michigan State, and at like over 75% field goal percentage.
Whew.
Yeah, he had 25 points, 14 rebounds, 10 of 13 field goals in 29 minutes. So, he was all over the place. He's their best player by far. He's going to be either the number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Him and Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag's like a 2-3. So because he's like 6'7", so he's like a 2-guard 3 spot. What position does the other guy play?
He right now he plays the center position because they're a very small team.
Okay.
But he's should play the 3-4.
3-4? Okay, power.
Yeah. Power forward,
small forward, power forward. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so if you watch him play, you can see he's always by the basket.
Mm-hmm.
He has that old school style of moves, and they're a veteran team. Is Auburn, but Florida is also a veteran team, and they have some great players. The thing about why I say Florida can beat Auburn is because they get up and down.
Okay.
They can score a lot of points. They beat Texas Tech 84-79 their last game, and their top player. I'm just gonna look it up right here. Clayton Jr. He scored 30 points against Texas Tech, 7-14, three pointers, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. And they can score a lot of points. They jack up a lot of threes. Versus versus Auburn, who, they grind it out. They're the team that goes down low. Now Duke versus Houston. Houston, guess who they have? They have one of Master P's sons.
Oh, they're
on that team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he's actually a really good player. And they beat Tennessee, another SEC team, 69-50.
19 points.
Yeah. So, with their star players, Cryer with 17 points, Sharp with 16 points. Miller didn't even play, but the thing is, they're also a small team, as far as size. And the difference is, though, they're veterans versus Duke, which has a bunch of freshmen. And, their 2 best players are freshmen.
Yeah.
Houston has juniors and seniors, so they know how to grind it out. They know how to be physical. If you're better, Houston is the way to go as far as upsets are concerned. But with that talent that Duke has, I'm gonna have to go talent over experience, because Cooper Flagg is he's the real deal. He is the real deal. So you say you had Duke winning it all?
Yeah, I had Duke winning it all.
I think so. I think Duke's gonna win it all, beating Florida. And Cooper Flagg getting the number 1 pick. Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be number 1 pick.
Yeah. Newpel, he had 21 points in the game against Alabama for Duke. Cooper Flagg had 16 points. You had Proctor with 17 points. They beat them by 20, 85-65. And they're a team they can, like I said, they can light it up.
Yeah.
Always. Inside, outside.
Yeah.
Running gun. They can slow it down. They're right now, these top 4 teams, I would say right now the complete team is Duke. As far as who's left.
Okay.
And then the women's bracket is also as they say, chalk. As the lowest seed of either men's and women's is UConn, the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
They play against UCLA, number 1 seed, and South Carolina plays Texas. And UConn had beat USC.
Yeah, without Juju.
Without Juju Watkins, who did get the Naismith AP Player of the Year award, but with a torn ACL. The real question is, what does she do in this time? Because we know right after the championship, what is it, a couple days later, the WNBA draft is like that next week. And then a couple weeks later, the WNBA starts, or the next month.
And so the next month.
It's a whirlwind for women's college sports, college basketball, when those top players end up going into the WNBA. So with her being out with a torn ACL, what do you think? What should Juju Watkins do?
Well, she's going to be out. She is going to be out for the whole next season, right? Because she just got injured last week. ACLs typically take about a year for people to rehab those. So I'm pretty sure she got a surgery already. I'm pretty sure she did, because they said that they had forget the doctor's name, but they had this one particular doctor looking at it, and he's world renowned for I believe it's for ACLs, and I believe for Achilles. But I believe this is the same doctor that worked on Kobe's Achilles.
Okay.
I believe so. I'm like 90% sure on that. So I believe now Juju could do whatever she desires. I believe that she sits out the whole year, just heal up, and come back that following year and ball out. Because I believe, because she was a sophomore this year, so she's gonna miss her junior year. And the rules of WNBA, you gotta be 22 years old, I believe. 22 or and some rule, but
junior or senior, or a senior, right?
No, you gotta be a senior. You gotta be a senior, and so she's gonna miss her junior year. She played her senior year, and she could theoretically come back because they don't hold the injuries against playoff. She could come back for that fifth season.
Yeah,
she could do that. But if I was her, I would not do that. I would just play my senior year and then go on from there, and then go to WNBA from there. Because by that time, the collective bargaining, they should have done the collective bargaining agreement, and salaries possibly go up. But we shall see. Nothing but prayers up for that young lady. I mean, I never heard anything negative about her from people, and for that to happen, it was just a basketball play. The girl that she ran into was not dirty player. She was moving her feet. They were just going so fast, and the collision, and if you saw, Juju's knee just buckled, and I didn't want to speak into it in existence, but I kind of, when I saw it, I think that's the ACL right there. Mm-hmm. She's done.
Right.
So. And I like Juju a lot. I really do. I mean, she's captivating. She's a legit 6 feet 2 inches. She's a big, like sturdy, like strong girl. You're not going. Yeah. You saw how they was treating Caitlin Clark and her rookie year. They ain't gonna do that to Juju. You ain't gonna move her off the block like that. Right. She gonna move you. Right. And she has a pretty good outside shot. She plays defense. She got handles. I mean, man. The sky's the limit, and prayers up.
She was projected the number 1 pick, if not Paige Beckers.
Well, she wasn't going to come out this year anyway.
Paige Beckers not coming out either?
No, Paige Beckers is coming out. Juju wasn't going to come out this year because she was only a sophomore.
Juju's a sophomore?
Yeah, last year she was a freshman. She was a freshman last year.
Wow.
She's a sophomore, so she's missing her junior. She will miss her junior year, come back for her senior year, and more than likely go to the league right after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Olivia Miles from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The projected number 2 pick. She is staying in college basketball. She's not going to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to transfer. They haven't said what team she's transferring to, and is going to use that fifth season.
Yeah.
Use that that eligibility to stay in college, which right now is actually a smart move. With college basketball NIL, have you seen the whole Notre Dame starting five was in commercials? If you've been watching the March Madness, and I think she's been in another couple of commercials actually. So she's already getting the bag.
Yeah.
She's most likely making more than the top WNBA players. So for her, transferring, most likely is going to graduate college, doesn't have to go to school, can just transfer to a school and play ball and wait, like you said, the collecting bargaining, see what happens with that money.
Yep. See what happens with
then
that.
Go the following season in 2026. It's actually a smart move, and I'm not mad about it. And I think more,
not at all.
I think more women college sports are going to do that because of the money they're making in college versus in the WNBA. And we'll be right back with more Keep 1 Million show. 90.7 FM, and there's also a Syracuse legend we're going to get into who's made it to the Hall of Fame. Keep it locked right here. 90.7 FM KRDP.
Yes, sir.
.7 FM. Keep 1 Million show. Just getting into college Final Fours. And we didn't even pick the women's. So South Carolina's a 5.5 point favorite, and then UConn is a 7.5 point favorite. Who you got there? Who's gonna win it all?
I got South Carolina and UConn winning their games respectively, and I got UConn. I got Paige Beckers going out of champion.
Ooh.
Got Paige Beckers because it's a down year. Even though Dawn Staley, the team they made it to the Final Four, make it to the championship. I don't think they're gonna be able to beat UConn. Now, if they do beat UConn, it's because they do play good defense. It's because they grinded it out on them and they were able to hold down Paige. But Paige has been on fire.
Yeah, she's had like 40 points one game. Broke a record for most points. And then the game against USC, she had 31 points. Yeah, so I can see the same way, but I want to go South Carolina.
Okay.
But
and Dawn's my girl.
You got to think. UConn, when's the last time they won a championship? That's kind of crazy saying that because they've won so many championships.
It's been a minute.
It's been all South Carolina and
South Carolina. South Carolina won last year. Then the year before that was LSU. Then the year before that was South Carolina. And so I want to say that Dawn, South Carolina has. What she got 3 national championships.
Yeah, she has 3.
3. I know it hasn't been no 10 years since UConn won. It's been within about 5 to 7 years.
5, if I'm not mistaken.
About 5 to 7 years.
So, yeah, Gino's due.
Yeah,
he's due a chip, especially with this girl Paige, and I don't even know who else on the team, but they always have. He always has 5-star players.
It was a time when Gino Auriemma on his team. It was a freshman that got there, and then all that freshman knew was national championships because they won 4 in a row.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You was like, wow. I mean,
Maya Moore.
Did Maya win 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Okay.
She won 4 in a row with UConn. If I'm not mistaken,
Taurasi and them didn't.
Taurasi didn't know they didn't.
No, because they were battling with Tennessee and stuff like that. So Taurasi won more than one, but I don't believe she won 4 in a row.
Yeah, I think it was Maya Moore's team.
Okay.
But I may have to bet UConn on that one. But I would not be surprised if South Carolina won.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina won.
At all.
But you got to look at how South Carolina's been winning. They've been grinding games out, winning low-scoring games, and they haven't been hot from the arc. Haven't been hot shooting team. So and this is considered a down year for Dawn Staley and her team. So and she made it to the Final Four. It's just like, wow, just wow. So we shall see. I'm not sleeping on UCLA. I just don't believe UCLA is going to be able to beat Duke. I mean not Duke. Beat UConn because I do like Lauren Betts, but man, Paige is just
a monster.
Out
of this world. Now, speaking of college,
yeah,
you have Syracuse with their only championship, coming by a once in a generation performance from Carmelo Anthony.
I don't want to say that.
Well, I mean, you have him, you have Dwayne Wade, you have Steph Curry, Davidson.
Yeah.
There's a few of them, but can you say Carmelo's at the top? I'm talking about the whole tournament, just 20-some odd points a game, leading the team.
Yeah,
to a championship.
He did lead the team, but best believe that team, he had a really good team around him. You gotta remember he had Hakeem Warwick on that team, I believe. Jerry McNamara was a freshman with Carmelo. Carmelo was a freshman. They were freshmen together. Remember Jerry McNamara was an interesting player because when he was hot, he was hot. But when he was cold, he was cold. Yeah. It's like he could not shoot himself out of a cold spell. But that team was a magical team. And remember, I believe it was Hakeem Warwick because that championship game was close. It wasn't like they blew him out. I believe Hakeem Warwick got the block because the guy was trying to shoot the three and he got the block, got the last second block on him. So that was a really nice squad. And to prove to you how good that squad was and how good Carmelo was with them, you got to remember, I believe it wasn't the next year, probably the year after that. So because that was in 2003. It was a few years after that. It was in 2005. Where Syracuse got upset by Vermont in the first round. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that just goes to show you how dope Carmelo was and how good he was. And not just that, he didn't disappoint. He came out in 2003 in that draft class. Him, D. Wade, LeBron. LeBron was number one. Darko Milicic was number two. Detroit should have drafted Carmelo.
Well, here's the thing. I was just bringing that up. About to bring that up. His career is like a big what if as far as Carmelo. Mm-hmm. He goes to Denver. They go all the way to the Western Conference Finals, lose to the Lakers, win the championship. Yeah. He goes to the Knicks. They only get to the second round. But what happens if, and I think he talked about this on a podcast with a couple of players a year or so ago. What would have happened if he would have went to Detroit and it was supposed to have been set up where Detroit was going to draft him, and at the last minute they drafted Darko for some reason. And remember, his nickname was like Champagne or something like that, because they said when he got into the game, they knew they were automatically going to win. They're going to pop champagne. It was hilarious. That's how bad Darko was. But remember, they won the championship. Was it right after that? 2004. Yeah, 2004 they won. They beat the Lakers because the Lakers went 3 in a row. 2004 is Detroit winning that championship. and
Okay.
Darko was no parts of that championship.
Yeah, oh yeah, he wasn't. The thing was, and this is how Larry Brown tried to sell it to people was, well, they already had Tayshaun Prince, and Carmelo played the same position. My take on it, and Larry Brown was notorious for this type of stuff. He just wouldn't never take the best player available.
Yeah.
Just take the best player available. Don't try to and I made this mistake in fantasy football. I made it last year in the championship. Like, don't overthink it. I overthought it in my championship game. So don't overthink it. Sometimes the right play is right there in front of you. It's like just take this guy because that. I mean, think about it. I mean, okay, Carmelo probably would have, because he was a rookie, so he probably would have been coming off the bench, and he could have learned a lot from that team. And he would have got a ring that year. He would have got a ring.
Yes.
And
they made 105 as well, because I think then they go back and lose.
They went back and they went back to the championship and they lost to the Spurs.
Yes.
They lost to the Spurs. And now I'm not saying that Melo would have helped them win against the Spurs. But then another what if is, what if he didn't do the extension and he would have been with Miami Heat and not Chris Bosh.
Exactly.
Now he would have won at least 2 championships.
Yeah,
with that
I was
team.
going to bring that up too as well, is the fact that him going to the Knicks, taking that money versus going to
No. It wasn't going to the Knicks. It was signing a longer deal with Denver.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It was that if he would have just did the deal that Wade and LeBron and all them did, where he could have opted out and everything, it would have been, he would have been able to maneuver his way.
Agent also. Right.
Yeah, and he would have been able to maneuver over there. Now I know Kendrick Perkins disagrees with this because he said when he was with OKC, the biggest trouble they had was with Bosh. That matchup with Bosh, because Serge Ibaka was a younger player at the time, and it was just but I still believe that Carmelo would have got at least 2 rings out of that.
Yeah.
At least 2.
Yeah, and I mean, it tried when later in his career going to the Lakers.
Too little, too late.
It was too late. Playing with LeBron finally.
Yeah, he should have went there that bubble here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he was kind of out of the league for a couple years. Then went to Portland, reinvented his game. Was willing to come off the bench, and that's the reason why he was out after the Knicks, was he wasn't willing to come off the bench.
And I said, don't make that. He made that Iverson.
Oklahoma City.
He made that Iverson mistake.
Exactly. So he kind of humbled himself. And one thing I've read about it was the fact that he was one of those players that was least injured. Is surprisingly, he was only at about 100 and some odd games where he was out due to injury or illness, versus a 19-year career, which is actually amazing in NBA. If you look at what's going on now with the load management and players getting injured for everything.
Man.
So I wouldn't call him an Iron Man, but in that age, LeBron's actually the Iron Man.
Yeah,
but,
he is.
Carmelo, you got hats off to him. He actually played a lot of games. He only, if I'm mistaken, it was like 7% of his games that he missed his whole career. So.
I mean, this guy was so silky smooth. He was a scoring machine. He was a bucket walking. People don't understand.
Hell yeah.
His game wasn't predicated on sheer force either. He had a lot of good footwork, pivot moves, spin moves. I mean, it wasn't all trying to cross you up. I mean, I saw one move he did. I got to go back and look at the clip again. I want to say it was Tony Rice, maybe. Like he literally. He had the ball and he did a spin move and did a spin move again and literally lost him. Like the defender was going the other way. He turned around and shot that little baseline jumper.
Yeah,
and that's like
that was a shot.
Yeah, he had that mid-range game. He could shoot threes, but he had that mid-range game, and it's a shame that the mid-range game is being phased out because the mid-range game is so beautiful. He had that. He just was an amazing player. I mean, props up to him. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Most likely will be retired. His jersey with the Knicks.
The Knicks. Let me ask you a question.
The thing about Denver. Go ahead.
Oh, what was you gonna say about Denver?
Well, you might was going to ask this question, but do they retire both Joker and Carmelo's number 15?
Yeah. They do it with
do they do it separate, like 15 Carmelo, 15?
Yeah, why not? They do it with the Yankees. The Yankees don't. It's different numbers. It's the same numbers. Isn't it like multiple numbers with the Yankees? It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
No.
Well, there's a team. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about another story program. I'm thinking about University of North Carolina.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking about because Kenny Smith's number is in the rafters, and somebody else got the same number as Kenny Smith. I think maybe Rasheed Wallace or somebody.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm thinking about. Well, hey, would you consider Carmelo all-time Nick, like top 5 Nick or top?
Yeah.
I would say top 3 personally, but
5.
Is that 5?
I'll say 5. You have.
Because you got Walt Frazier,
Clyde, Earl Monroe.
No, hold on, Walt Frazier, and then Clyde is Walter Clyde Frazier, right?
Yeah, Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, so Clyde Frazier. You got Monroe.
Earl Monroe.
Hold on, you putting Earl Pearl in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are Knicks.
I know.
So
I know.
It was in that 73.
Yeah, I know who Earl Pearl is.
Then you have Bernard King.
Okay.
I don't know if you put Carmelo after Bernard King, but as far as Knicks, you possibly yes, because everyone else after Bernard King wasn't a Knick for that long of a time. So
you wouldn't pick Willie?
You can say Mark Jackson, Willis Reed. Excuse me.
What was Reed?
Willis Reed, yes. Yeah, he's not top 5, maybe 6, but those are your top 5 right there with Bernard King. And he did break some records. A 62-point game. He had some top games. That is the number 1 points in Madison Square Garden history. 62 points by Carmelo Anthony. Right behind is Jordan with 55. And I think Bernard King is right in that mix as well. A few times.
I got Carmelo as a top 5 Nick, man. I got him as a top 5 Nick. I got him over Patrick Ewing, man.
I feel Patrick Ewing as well.
I got him over Patrick Ewing. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'll have to say he's like 6 or 7 in my book. Because I just thought about Patrick Ewing. Right, Willis Reed, Ewing, Frazier. I'll have to switch Monroe. I have him ahead of Monroe. I
actually don't have Earl Pearl on that list.
I mean, as far as those 6, 7 guys, I'll have him ahead. I'll say he's 5th.
Right.
I'll put him at 5.
All right.
We can come right back with more Keep 1 Million show. Keep it locked right here, 90.7 FM. And talk some NBA live scores and the playoff push. Who can beat the Celtics? Keep it locked right here. It's Keep 1 Million show.
Yes, sir.
.7 FM, Keep 1 Million show. I just seen an amazing stat.
Oh, what's that?
So, the Bucks just beat the 76ers. I apologize.
I told him, I apologize about what? I told him to sit Maxey 3 weeks ago.
No.
Just whatever, man.
Yeah.
Just tank the season too. No point.
They beat the 76ers 126 to 113.
Mm-hmm.
But Giannis, this is one of one stat line.
Mm-hmm.
35 points.
Okay.
20 assists.
Damn.
17 rebounds.
Okay, triple double. All right.
Yeah. It's never been. They said it's never been done before.
What? So that many points?
That stat line. 35 point, almost 20-20 triple double, which is basically 2. You know what? No, it hasn't.
No,
because
Russell Westbrook did it.
Not just Russell Westbrook. Joker just did that.
Oh, he had that 61 point.
Well, he had a 61 point
triple double.
10-10.
Yeah.
But he had.
You talking about that 50 point one earlier?
50 point 20-20.
Yeah. I remember that. That's why a lot of people are saying that he should be the MVP over SGA. But the way I look at MVP is like I know if you take Joker away, that Denver's different. But like SGA means so much to that team, and I know Joker does mean so much to that team. But just SGA, it'll be a travesty if he don't get it, man. He's been playing so well this year. You know, it's kind of crazy.
He has, but he doesn't have a 60-point triple-double.
Yeah, but
he doesn't have a 60-point triple-double. So right now, the Lakers are playing the Warriors. Warriors up 26-22. Magic beat the Wizards 109-97. Like I said, Bucks beat the 76ers 126-113. Timberwolves beat the Nets 105-90. Grizzlies beat the Heat 110-108. Trailblazers beat the Raptors 112-103. Now, this Lakers Warriors game is a very interesting game because you got the Lakers as the 3rd seed in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And Golden State is the 5th seed. And they're 2 games. Golden State's 2 games behind the Lakers. Denver's right there, the 4th seed. They're actually tied with them. They're actually they're 1 down on the loss column to the Lakers, but they're 47-30. Lakers are 46-29, and Golden State's 44-31. So this is very important right now for the Lakers to win this game and stay at the number 3. Oklahoma City, Houston, they both clinched. Oklahoma City clinched the conference already, and Houston's clinched their division. So the Lakers, Denver, Golden State, where do you see them 3 ending up? Do you see it staying the same or different?
So the Lakers, Golden State, and who else?
Oh. Denver. Denver's the 4. So you got 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
All 2 games apart, and like I said, the Lakers and Denver are basically tied at the third seed.
How does the play-in work? That always confused me.
Well, the play-in is the 7 through 10 seed.
7 through 10
which
seed.
is Minnesota, the Clippers, Dallas, and Sacramento.
Okay,
so it's like a real mini tournament where 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. Those winners play each other. The losers play each other. And then the winners of each of those games gets the 7th and 8th seed.
Okay. So the first 6 are in.
Yeah, the first 6 are in.
Okay, all right.
So the 6th seed right now is Memphis.
Okay.
And they're basically tied with Golden State at 45-22.
Yeah, they
45-32.
They just recently played Golden State too, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I believe they lost, right? They lost.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because they had to win that game to stay
and the Grizzlies just won. So
right.
Yeah, they're mathematically tied right now with Golden State. So you have actually 4 teams fighting for 2 spots, the 3 and the 4 seed.
Okay.
I mean, how do you see that playing out as far as?
So number 1 seed is OKC.
Number 2 is Houston.
Number 2 is Houston.
And they're locked in.
Those 2 are locked in.
Yeah.
Okay. Houston, damn, man. Email Dokum to coach of the year. Either him or Kenny Atkinson from Cleveland, or even Bickerstaff from Detroit.
Yeah.
Even him, man. But okay. So and then number 3 is the Lakers, and number 4 is, you say, Golden State, right? Denver. All right. I believe the Lakers can stay at 3. I mean, they have a good enough team to win out. with Luka and LeBron, and that's actually working out better than what I thought. I knew it wasn't going to be bad, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work because both of them, like they work better with the ball in their hands. But I'm seeing that LeBron when Luka's in the game with him, LeBron working good off the ball.
Yeah.
So it's not actually it lifted a lot of pressure off of LeBron because Luka's pretty good with the ball. Not pretty good. He's dang good with the ball in his hands. So I believe they're going to stay at number 3. Number 4, the Nuggets. I believe that they should be fine there. They should win out. And number 5, you said was it Golden State?
Yeah.
Golden State.
And 6 is
Memphis. Memphis is the one. I'm like because younger team, John Morant has been having. He's been talked to by the league about the gun pointing thing. So where's the maturity at? So that's the team. I'm like that. That's the team I believe can drop and end up being in the play-in, and that's what they don't want. So I believe it can stay like this.
And I'm looking. There's 6 games left in the season.
6 games left.
Yeah, 6 games left in the season. So it's going to get really, really thick right here. And what did happen with that situation with John Morant with the gun pointing? And you said it was a warning with him and Buddy Hield. Did they get into a back and forth or something like that?
I didn't get a chance to.
I'm not sure what was
to
going
dig
on.
deeper into it. I just know that the league warned him and Buddy Hield about the gun pointing single. Kind of like so they probably gonna come up with a rule where you can't act like you're pointing the gun at somebody. Just like I call it the Chris Childs rule when he used to he did it one time after he hit a 3. He did the throat slash.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they banned the throw slash. If you do that, you get suspended and fined. NFL as well. You can't do the throw slash. You also cannot throw up gang signs or sea walk and stuff like anything that's gang affiliated. They don't want to see that. So they just warned them and said, hey, don't do it again.
Because I've actually seen other players do that. Trey Young and other players, especially the younger generation, doing that. And obviously with John Morant's history, he doesn't need any more suspensions or things of that nature. And it seems to me a bigger issue in the NBA as who, after LeBron and Steph Curry and KD, obviously Giannis, you have Joker, but out of the younger generation, who wants to be the face of the league? Who wants to be that? Because you have Anthony Edwards, and he has his personal issues that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, that.
You have John Morant with this whole gun situation. You have Zion, who's fallen off the face of the earth when it comes to his play. And he was playing good, then they shut him down. Yeah. And they shut the whole team down. Him and CJ McCollum, so their seasons are over. Out of those young players that were promising, and we thought, how they say, the league's in good hands. Where do you see the league in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, you said Ant-Man said he didn't want it. He didn't want the face of the league. Like, a lot of these guys, they want the fortune, but not the fame. Which is fine, and I get it. But to be the face of the league, Michael Jordan was the face of the league, and he had issues too. It wasn't any social media back then, though. But people did report on his when I believe he lost a playoff game to the Knicks, and then he went out gambling in Atlantic City. Everything, but my whole thing about it, he did that, but he came back and won that series though. So you can't get him on that. It's tough being the face of the league, and the league pretty much will let you know who they want to be the face of the league. Because at one time they didn't want Iverson to be the face of the league.
Right.
They didn't want that. It was Kobe. They wanted Kobe, that heir apparent, and actually before Kobe was Grant Hill, but then Grant Hill was getting injured. People like to say Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan didn't have a personality. It's like you knew he was great, but nobody came to games to see Tim Duncan. No, it's just being real. Like to me, he's the greatest power forward that ever played.
I'm actually laughing at something else.
And so the face of the league is great. So at one point, like you said, it was LeBron. Steph was up there, KD. Now, SGA.
Yeah.
SGA. You got Donovan Mitchell up there in Cleveland.
Well, unfortunately, John Morant doesn't give a bleep about that warning. He actually did it again against Miami. A 110-1 win as he hit a 25-foot three-pointer, and he uses the gun gesture.
Oh, hold on.
This has just happened.
I'm gonna have to look at the type of gesture because I know some people do it like when they hit a 3-pointer they go.
I can show it to you.
Okay.
I can show it to you. It's basically, like a rifle, like shooting a rifle.
Oh, okay. So we're going
like that. You know what I mean?
But I was thinking like this, like like a 6-shooter at the hit, and then you hit a 3-pointer, you be like pop 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 pop.
Now that's back in the day. If it was some players that was doing
they go by and they go
right.
Now, I didn't take that as anything crazy because it's just saying, look, I'm shooting the lights out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But the issue with Ja is we all know
his past issue with the guns.
His past issue with guns, the whole strip club situation, then the situation where he was in his car playing music. I think he was NBA YoungBoy or something.
Yeah.
He has a gun in in a state that you can have a gun.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah.
He was suspended for a long time. Mm-hmm. Now, since he's done it again after the warning, he may be suspended.
Maybe.
He may be suspended or fined. I would say fine.
I'm not going to say
I would say a fine.
Fine. It's going to be a fine.
Suspension is way larger, but I think a fine.
I believe he's going
maybe internal discipline.
Yeah, I believe he's going to get fined, internal discipline. Then if it happens again, then that's when you talk suspension. Because now at that point you're being defiant. You know what I mean? It's like
he is being defiant.
Well, he's being defiant right now.
With the warning, because remember with the David Stern years, the clothing.
Yeah.
They changed the clothing. That's been laxed, and now that's been 86.
It's no longer there. I couldn't stand that dress code thing. I thought that was low key racist.
Yeah. I mean, even Carmelo Anthony, in an interview, said that David Stern was telling him his whole crew, who he's around, and everything, what he needs to be doing, what he shouldn't be doing. So the NBA is extremely involved in their players and what they do inside and outside of the court. I don't understand why these younger players aren't taking heed to it, because yes, you're making a lot of money, hundreds of $millions and all this, but that can stop at the drop of a dime. You could be out of the league at the drop of a hat, and they won't blink about it.
No.
So I think John Morant, they need to take heed to what's going on, because an injury and a couple suspensions, and you may be another player better than you comes up, and you could be out.
But hey, tell them, look what happened to Kyrie, and Kyrie didn't even do anything bad. He
exactly.
Just and they moved him to the side to pump John Morant up. So man,
exactly. No, you're exactly right.
Learn from the past.
Right, and this is 90.7 KRDP. Keep 1 Million Show. We're gonna come back with more sports analysis. Final Four, men's and women's. Carmelo Anthony, NBA playoffs. So keep it locked right here. It's Keep 1 Million Show.
Yes, sir.